Hey folks, it's another preview, and this time it's late night for me and recording for this video as we preview Washington Capitals playing the New York Rangers for the first round of the 2024 NHL playoffs right here on the Selling the West show. As you watch the video, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and turning on notifications. All of those actions really help me keep positive momentum in making these videos and knowing what I did right and what I could do better. And you can certainly help tell me what I've done right and can do better on in the comment section below, as well as leaving your thoughts on the playoff series here. And as I try to get through these videos, I've had a busy day, so I'm getting to these late at night. I got a pop and a Halo music playing in the background, so that's what will be with me for these previews. I wanted to get done before the playoff games in less than 24 hours, and in between that time I have to sleep, but it's the weekend. Should be fine, but we'll see. Anyways, the Rangers and the Capitals. You don't need to be new to the channel to guess what's going on here. The Rangers have just statistically been better than the Capitals in almost every category. You don't even need to look at the fact that the Rangers have won 15 more games than the Capitals this year. In fact, the Capitals lost over half their games and made the playoffs. But they did get 40 wins. They were one off the halfway mark, and they got a lot of their losses in extra time rather than in regulation, which put them in. The way I work this is color coding the stats. The deeper the color to one side of, like, best blue, bottom red. I think you get it by now. Yeah, that was a very simple explanation. I kind of was just making sure I said that right, that it makes sense in my head. Anyways, but let's get into it. So, like I said, the Rangers have just been better than the Capitals in pretty much every area. The main area of note, worthy note here, is offense. Capitals' offense has been very bad this year. Part of it is that Ovi isn't at a place in his career where he can create for himself, and that's quite forgivable. He's closer to 40 than he is 30. So, yeah, most people who are at that age and point in their careers can't create offense for themselves. But he's still a very great shot. He still managed to get over 30 goals again this year. And with Dylan Strome's recent excellent play, he might have a center who can feed him more reliably, since Backstrom is not coming back. And Kuznetsov needed a change of scenery with he's in Carolina. So there is some hope there on offense. But they don't do pretty much anything on offense relatively to most teams in the league, especially the playoff teams, especially the Rangers, who are above average in a lot of the offensive metrics, but top 10 in the most important offensive metric, scoring the dang goal. And that's because they have a ton of talent on the offensive side, led by Artemi Panarin, another Russian winger. He plays a different style than Ovechkin, hits a lot less, passes a lot more. Ovechkin's a good passer, it's just you'd rather have Ovechkin shooting than passing. So, but Panarin can do both very well. And has been doing both very well all year, because again, Ovechkin's a good passer. It's just when you have the shot he has, why pass? Defensively, the numbers get a little more similar, a little closer, but the Rangers are the better team. And once again, in the most important category, goals against, the Rangers allow 0.31 goals against per game less than the Capitals. Mouthful. Which is a lot. Another category where the Rangers are very dominant, face-offs. Capitals are one of the worst face-off teams in the league. They're bottom 3. Whereas the Rangers, are a top 10 team when it comes to taking face-offs. Takeaway percentage, another area in favor of the Capitals. And hits, both teams are closer to hitting, and both teams have notable hitters like Jacob Trouba. Still, Rangers favor. This time, when it comes to blocks, Capitals are the better blocking team, but that's not always a sign of being better. It's just more of a sign of your style. The Rangers haven't needed to block that much because they get more takeaways than the Caps do. Power play, you can look at the power play, and that's another testament of the Rangers just better power play. They get more chances and score more often and more efficiently. Penalty kill, again, Rangers just very good. All this talking makes it sound like I should probably just choose the Rangers and be done with it, but we're still going to go through everything. Maybe not the shorthand goals because that doesn't always mean too much. I just put those in there. But one important part to talk about is goaltending. And sometimes that's all you need to win a series. And the Capitals know that firsthand. Ovechkin knows that firsthand. In the early 2010s, the Capitals won the President's Trophy. It was kind of like, hey, this is Ovechkin's year. He just has to beat this crappy Montreal Canadiens team. And Carey Price is injured. He's not even going to play. Well, Yaroslav Halak had one of the best goaltending performances you've ever seen in a playoff series. And he beats the Capitals. Because, again, sometimes that's all you need to win a series. And this was a great Capitals team. But sometimes it just comes down to goaltending. And that can happen here. We will talk about the Rangers' goaltending, but we're going to start with Washington's because that's how they've been winning this year. They've been live and die by the Capitals, and they've lived more than they've died. Well, it depends on your definition of die in this case, because Capitals only won 40 of the 82 games, but they only lost 31 in regulation. So either way, I saw a stat how in I think it was 33 one-goal games the Capitals have been in, they've only lost 2 of those in regulation. That's kind of been the way that they've worked this year, is to get points by going for the loser point, which isn't as common as a tactic as some fans may think, but some teams do it. The Capitals do it because they can, because Charlie Lindgren has been very good. Darcy Kemper, well, he's been another Jekyll and Hyde candidate. He can have a 40 save, 1 goal against performance, and then the next game when he plays a team that hasn't scored in like 2 weeks, he'll allow 5 goals on 4 shots. But Darcy Kemper is a very capable goalie, as is Charlie Lindgren, and I wonder. I imagine Charlie Lindgren's a starter because he's been very hot lately. He's started the majority of the Capital starts lately, including both back-to-backs in games and the most recent back-to-back Caps had. And he was excellent in those. So I assume Lindgren's getting the start. But if I'm going to turn down my phone, Halo music's a little too loud. Not something I say often, but my voice is more important here, not the Halo music. Also because I don't want to get copyrighted. But anyways, Kemper has a history of being a very good goalie. He was that for the Coyotes. He was that for the Avalanche. He could be that for the Caps if Lindgren falters. So what I'm saying is that, yes, the Capitals can beat the Rangers. Crazier things have happened. And one of the best ways to upset a team better than you is just have better goaltending. And I just mentioned how it does happen. You do see it happen. But it's going to be hard because the Rangers have Shesterkin and a resurgent Jonathan Quick. So I don't sense an upset really happening here in that regard. Shesterkin had a slow start, but he's been excellent lately. Jonathan Quick had an excellent start. He's been slower lately, but he's close to 40. It's okay. And he's going to be the backup, so it's not like he needed to come into the offseason with a 918 save percentage, or not offseason, playoffs. But either guy they go with, like if Shesterkin goes down, Quick's a pretty good backup to have, because it seems no matter what kind of regular season he has, he's going to have a great playoffs. He rarely has a bad playoff outing, if ever. I didn't go through his entire hockey reference before preparing this video, so tell me if you can remember a time, but usually he's pretty good. And even when these more recent series with the Kings against the Oilers, even though his save percentage might take a hit, I've always felt like, well, excuse me, that's the side effect of the pop. But I love pop. It's not going away. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry. Talking about Jonathan Quick and the Oilers. Even at times, even though the Oilers did rack up some goals against the Kings, you could always see Quick saved a lot more than he should have too in those games. So he's absolutely a pretty great backup goalie to have, especially with the way he's been playing this year. So all signs point to the Rangers. But one exception where it becomes more 50-50 is in their play against each other this year. They played 4 games against each other, and the home team won each time, meaning that the Washington Capitals and Rangers split the series. The first game between the two, the Capitals actually shut out the Rangers 4-0 before the Rangers beat the Capitals 5-1. Then the Capitals beat Rangers 3-2, 1-goal game, and then the Rangers won in the 1-goal game of their own 2-1. So the thing with going for OT is doesn't really work in playoffs because nobody cares how many OT losses you get in playoffs now. It's just did you win or did you lose? So that strategy might not work for the Capitals. Moving into playoff history, it's been two different but questionable stories between the Capitals and Rangers. The Capitals did miss the playoffs last year, but before that made the playoffs 4 years in a row since their Stanley Cup win in 2018, the 2017-18 season, but exited the first round in all 4 of those years. But it's important to note the 4 teams that they exited against all had pretty decent runs in those years, except Florida, I think, because I mixed that up. That was not the year Florida went on a big run. They lost to Tampa the next series. I mean, the Rangers have had some series win in their last 5 years, but it only came in the one postseason year in 2021-22 when they went all the way to the conference finals before falling short to the Tampa Bay Lightning, something a lot of teams did in those years. Most recently, they were upset, I use that word loosely. They lost to the Devils in Game 7 in Round 1. And outside of that, there's not much playoff history in the last 5 years besides being swept by the Carolina Hurricanes in the qualifying round of the 2019-20 playoffs. So both teams have a lot to prove when it comes to the postseason. Well, Rangers more so, and because there's more expectations put on them. Some fans might just be happy that the Capitals are there, or mad that they might have a really good draft pick. But the thing is, it's important to get into the playoffs because even though if you squeak into the playoffs and don't do so good, the Caps have one of the worst goal differentials of any playoff team in NHL history. Sometimes all you need is just to get there. Sometimes all you need is a good goalie. As I said, unfortunately for the Capitals, they're not the only team with a good goalie, but again, crazy things that have happened before. But that kind of leads into my prediction where you can guess where I'm going with this. I am going to go with the Rangers. I'm not willing to call it a sweep, but if you wanted to look at all of the matchups and wanted to pick one for a sweep, you'd be fair in choosing this one, choosing the Rangers to sweep the Caps 4-0. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say it's going to take just one more game than that. Five games. I think Caps will steal a game, but otherwise it'll be the Rangers in control. But anyways, that's it for this video. I got 2 more playoff reviews to do before I do my bracket challenge. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to show it on YouTube and all that kind of stuff as I explain how I think it'll go down, and then it'll go wrong and people can forget it or something. Because, I mean, chances are I'm going to be wrong. But, anyways, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one, hopefully, and you'll see it sooner if you subscribe and turn on notifications. But in the meantime, please like the video. Give me your feedback or your thoughts in the comments section below. I'm happy to see them. I do always see them, even if I don't comment back or that kind of stuff. And I'll see you whenever I see you next.